This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Capricorn and Capricorn rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the full moon in Aquarius, happening on August the 12th at 11:36 a.m. if you're in the southern hemisphere with me. So in terms of your spell work, of your moment alone with the moon, you can do that on either the 11th, the night before, or you can do it on the night of the 12th. Either way, it's a pretty even keel. The full moon will be coming exact at lunchtime for us. So either evening, you'll have a great sort of, room for the energy to flow. You can do this, when we do this stuff, you can do this as the weeks go by, it doesn't matter. But if you're wanting exactitude and that's the way that you operate, you're a Capricorn or a Capricorn rising, so that might be the case, then do it at precisely 11:36 a.m. and no sooner or later. Welcome to your reading. I'm very happy to have you here, Capricorn, and I'm very happy to explore some of the potential with this one. How was your triple conjunction, by the way? Think about 2 weeks ago. Think about the last horoscope that I recorded for you, and remember what I said about the 31st of July or the 1st of August, around that time, and the triple conjunction, which was Mars and Uranus and the North Node. So it was fire and revolution and a point of direct interest and involvement and investment, and the potential for some sort of combustion or some sort of breakaway from the structures that used to bind us, or some fire, some gasoline bonfire. I'll tell you a little story. Collectively, if we zoom out and we consider Taurus represents the land. It represents earth and the sort of physical manifestation of life. It's sort of blood and bone, poo and dirt. In Australia, our fairly fresh government has made some really important, direct, forward-moving strides towards an Indigenous voice to Parliament. So think about Uranus, revolution. Think about Mars, forward movement. Think about North Node, point of focus. Collectively, we experience this transit in a really bountiful, positive, fruitful way. That's just one example of the many. If you wanted to cast your mind to the United States of America, remember what happened in Kansas just now. That was a big Uranus, Mars moment. That was a nope, 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 nope. That's not what's happening. That also occurred around this time. So that is forward movement, that is revolution, that is sort of moving aside and away from the structures that previously existed in terms of the land, the physicality, the body. That's the high vibration of how this could be playing out. For you, Capricorn, this was all in your 5th house. So for you, Taurus rules the 5th, and 5th is creativity, self-expression. It's children as well. So sort of your relationship with children, or your access to the inner child as well. So what around those dates that I described, was there something that was reactivated? Was there a moment of self-expression that came from you that was maybe buried a little deeper and that just had to give? There was something that had to sort of revolt in order to get out and to express itself. Maybe it's in the way of, maybe it's your parenting styles. If you've got kids, maybe it's something to do with, potentially could be maybe a little bit of a fight with them, maybe. But there's something there. There's something about your self-expression that that's where the tank of gas was being poured. That's where the sort of forward movement was happening. Let me know how it went. That conjunction, Mars has sort of moved on, formed a square with Saturn, but we're sort of dealing with that. Mars moves very quickly, so we don't have to, we don't have to fear Mars as well. That's one thing to remember in a very binary system, is that the symbol of Mars can represent all sorts of different things, and it's been appropriated in many different ways. But remember, Mars has no gender. They used to say, what was it, that stupid book? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Well, that's all behind us now as we evolve. We must remember that we all have a Mars and we all have a Venus, and we're entitled to both. And the energy of what they represent, we are also in the ability of working with. So passion isn't a dirty word, forward movement isn't a dirty word, fire starter doesn't always have to be a dirty word. So I suspect there might have been something really creative for you. I hope there was, Capricorn. Let me know what kind of art you were making, or in what ways were you expressing yourself. If it was in a lower vibration and you've got some apologies to make, then you can do that at this full moon in Aquarius, I'd say. And it's okay if things got heated, but definitely reparations can be made. Now, let's get back to this moon. So Aquarius rules your second house, which is your talents, your skills, your ability to generate material abundance. And, obviously you're a Capricorn or a Capricorn rising, so it's sort of those skills, you like to share it around. That's lovely. You've got the eye for the group. You want to put your resources to better use for the collective. Saturn is in Aquarius, so there is restriction there at the moment. There is a sort of, think of the physicality of Saturn, which is the rings, the restriction. Also, in another way, it's boundaries, isn't it? So it's sort of like there could be, the purse strings could be pulled a little tight at the moment, or there could be something that you've had to really kind of reconcile with in terms of limitation of how you can produce and what your talents are and how you can make this thing work for you. Know that Saturn is sort of gently on the way out of Aquarius, going into Pisces soon enough. So if those restrictions are sort of feeling a bit sort of clammy and a bit scary, then know that that's going to shift. This full moon would be a great time for you to work with that energy, though, because the moon's in conjunction with Saturn, and so it's almost like it's a full Saturn as well. So the tarot, for the point in the sky that the moon's at, 19 degrees of Aquarius, is the Six of Swords, which to me really expresses that idea of boundaries or regulations, or kind of the choice to move away from something turbulent. So we've got lots of choppy water here and lots of crystal clear water here that these figures are moving towards. It's not a happy journey. It's a sort of grey sky, but it's definitely a clear journey. There's no clouds in the sky as far as we can see them. It's clear what's up ahead. So remember that swords are our thoughts and our intellect and our truth. Water is our emotions and our capacity to love and to feel. So we're moving away from something that is turbulent, and we're heading towards a clearing and a clarity. And so if we relate this to the second house, to our material abilities, to our talents, to our resources, I would take this as a really positive affirmation that potentially whatever turbulence or difficulty you've been feeling in regard to that, you're actively making steps to remove yourself from that energy and to move towards something clear, to a space of understanding and a space of reflection. Flat water is reflection, isn't it? So because of that square, there's Saturn and the moon squaring off again with Uranus in the North Node. Mars is sort of moving on. There's still pressure there. So the revolutionary, fire-startery, turbulent sort of cyclone of what's been moving through your fifth house of creativity, of kids, of inner child. If you're doing some really good work on your inner child at the moment, if you're doing some active sort of reconciliation with that part of yourself, then I would suggest to keep doing it and to not look at this square as a position of impediment. And remember what this represents. This card is boundaries. This card is keeping ourselves, our energy safe from turbulence. I don't know if whatever, would take that message as you need to, but that's what's coming out for this reading. So that's the zodiac. I'm going to leave that fairly simple. We know what to do at a full moon. We know to write our intentions down and to, if you want to, set them on fire underneath the moon and she'll take them back. We know to shed what it is that we no longer need anymore. So as far as like even thought forms that are squaring off with your fifth house, squaring off with your kids or your creativity, if you're feeling blocked in some way, then disallow that with this moon, because the moon's here to shift something emotionally, isn't it? So whatever restriction's been going on, because remember Saturn doesn't move very often, so that square's been there for a while. That Saturn has been squaring what's been happening in your fifth house, Uranus, the North Node, for the past however many months and until July of next year. So this is all going to shift at the moment, but I can imagine that there maybe has been some pressure there. So use the moon's capability to be your guide, to be your authority figure that you can cry to. That might be a really great way to use this moon, actually, Capricorn. All right, so there's a card straight away. The Ten of Pentacles. Excellent energy. That's come out for somebody else as well. I can't remember who. Ten of Pentacles is abundance. The Ten of Pentacles is legacy, is comfort, and it's the moment to rest and to reflect and to look back. So it's about sharing that as well. So that's a great energy to work with straight off the bat if things have been restrictive in your material world. The Queen of Cups, Little Mermaid there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. One more card, please, Sperozzi. And the World. This one came out as well. Yeah, there's some nice synchronicities here, I think, with the messages from Tarot, and I'm really feeling it today. I've had such a beautiful, effortless, breezy day of filming everything. I'm actually ahead of schedule. My communication styles have been activated. Anyway, but let's look at your tarot, Capricorn. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. So look at what's going on here. There's a couple here with a child. There's an elder. There's some dogs. There's this beautiful canopy of growth. There's something that is generation to generation. There's something really healing about this. The legacy, it's the legacy card really in a lot of ways. We have the Queen of Cups, which is an incredible energy of empathy. There's someone that's willing and able and waiting for your waters to come and lap at their shore. They've got big ears to listen. Remember, the Queen of Cups is an empath. In this version, they're wearing a beautiful mermaid sequin gown and some blue hair. So for whatever that means to you, there's a lot of potential and there's a weight here as well. The Queen of Cups, her cup is never empty, and it's also regenerative, and she's got all the time, they've got all the time in the world to receive and to offer as well in waterland, in emotional space. And you've got the World as well, which is a declaration from the universe to say, well done. You've come to the end of some sort of cycle. There's the ending of something, some sort of lesson or some reality for you in life, Capricorn, that is reaching a closing point. The World is the last card, and then the Fool begins everything again, the cosmic egg. So, and we've got fixed energy here. We've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So all of the difficulties that we've been working with and working through this last bit of time, the restrictions, the binding, the fifth house, clogging up. This is a declaration of pride for you, and this is a moment for you to really reflect and to recognize just how beautifully you've been working with these lessons and what you've learned over this bit of time in your Taurian world, your Aquarian world, your Scorpio and Leo world. The fixed energy is shifting for you, Capricorn, which is really beautiful. And I would suspect that this Queen of Cups represents somebody that can help with the next level of moving some of that. I want you to keep the Ten of Pentacles in your mind's eye as something that you can reach for and something that is going to occur for you. The dogs, the children, the generational sort of exchange, the elder in the corner. The eye's drawn to the elder in the corner. It's sort of, that's a place that is sort of inconceivable for some people. I know for the longest time I struggled with the idea of what on earth I would be or what somebody like me would exist as an old person. I couldn't conceive it because I couldn't put language to it. As I journey on, that language is developing. And so maybe this is an encouragement for you to do the same, to develop the language. This scenario might not be the way that you thought it would be. It might not be the considered structure of what you thought, but this feeling and this legacy is in your reading. It's in your cards. It's in your stars. Don't worry, Capricorn. I think that sometimes that immovable sort of feeling of the fixed energy, Capricorn's cardinal, it's the beginning point. So it's sort of, again, it's sort of a bit of a rigidity there. Allow some of this water in. I don't know who this is for you. I don't know who this mermaid creature is, but they have been waiting for a while, I think is what I'm getting. They've been waiting for a while for you to tell them how you feel and to be able to help you with that. Is what I'm sensing here, and to also maybe help you celebrate this end of a cycle, this lesson that has been such a long time coming. Look at this card and look at these Taurus, Scorpio. There's the eclipses the whole time, and until July 2023, it's still going to continue. And then we've got the full moon here and the sun here. So take this Aquarian moon, Capricorn, and use it to congratulate yourself because you've done a lot of work and it's showing. Well done. That's your reading. That's the sand all gone. Full moon blessings, my lovely Capricorns. If you'd like to throw some money in the tip jar, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/Uma Ruby. You don't have to, but it's always appreciated. Also, you can get your birth chart read at umaruby.com. And I would love to take you on a journey if that's something that you're willing and ready to explore. We can go down and we can look and relate this to the planets, to your experience, your specific experience. Remember, a birth chart is the blueprint or the treasure map of the moment that you were born. So there's no other map like it. And in that, there's answers to be found. If it's to do with where to go next, we can maybe explore that too. So until I speak to you in 2 weeks for the new moon in Virgo, I love you and full moon blessings, and I'll speak to you then. Bye.